Matt Famous himself. Tonight's interview, I'm bringing a Harrisburg native, someone that grew up in the streets, took the street route, ended up in jail, doing 11 and a half years in the state penitentiary. When I say he came home and changed his life for the better, this is somebody that is motivational, an inspiration, someone that the kids can look up to in the community. So I want y'all to give me a warm welcome to my guest star, TJ Watson. There you go. Welcome to the series, brother.
Yo.
How you doing?
Doing yourself?
I'm doing good, man.
Good seeing you, man.
Nice seeing you, man. Long time no see.
Yeah, you already know.
So, we getting right to it. We ain't gonna waste no time.
Yeah.
We got people watching us. So, for the ones that don't know, let them know who TJ Watson is.
You know, come from a small city, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, uptown, born and raised. You know what I mean? 1990 Sagittarius, baby. You know, childhood. You wanna know about childhood shit?
We can get into that. Tell them a little bit more about yourself. Tell them a little bit more about the new you. Let them know a little bit about the new you, and then I'm gonna get into the questions.
You know, new me, you know, working guy, work every day. Take care of his family. You know what I mean? Just trying to stay out the way, trying to be somebody that, my little folks can look up to, specifically my little brothers. They Watson, shout out JC and Jesse. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, man, I got people looking up to me, so I gotta move different. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Back then we got people looking up to for different reasons, like for bad shit.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, for the ones that don't know, you did 11 and a half years in prison.
Yeah.
11 and a half years for what crime?
Robbery, Aggie, pistol.
Was it a set 11 and a half years, or was it 11 and a half years to something?
11 and a half years or something.
Wow. So 11 and a half years for robbery, aggravated with a firearm.
Yeah.
And let's just go rewind for a little bit. So let's go to the very beginning of your childhood. How was your childhood for you growing up?
And it was rough, single, speak up. It was rough, you know what I mean? Single parent household. I was the youngest of 5 brothers and sisters, you know what I mean? Not no real male figures around. Some mom's boyfriends and shit, you know how that shit go. You know what I mean? So it was rough. Like I said, I was the youngest, so I wasn't really close to nobody. Me and my sister was the closest. I got 2 older brothers. They always hung together, so it was like I wasn't fucking with them. They'd be fucking a nigga up sometimes. Like real shit, cause it was crazy growing up because we tell them motherfuckers, but like how you get the way you was. That shit come from rage, home. Like I used to be quiet, home, like stay to myself type of motherfucker, you know what I mean? So that shit come from like people trying to fuck with you because you smaller, you different, you quiet. You know what I mean? You might not got the freshest shit, the nicest shit, you know what I mean? So motherfucker try to split that shit when you young, you know what I mean? So take that shit to heart. That shit, you start getting older, you know what I mean? You start becoming something different, home.
Absolutely. I would agree with that, man. Growing up in the inner city, you know how it is. You are a product of your environment, and I would say I am, now that I'm older, and we older, I would say I'm more 70% to that.
Mm-hmm.
More so because what you see is what you get. So with that being said, can you describe the streets of your hometown?
when I was growing up.
When you was growing up, how was the
Yeah.
streets? You waking up every morning, you getting dressed for school, walking down the street. Give the audience a little bit of a vision of what you seen every day.
So yeah, so back then, you know, we ain't really get introduced to like how the kids get used. Like the guns now, they was like they all guns. We got introduced to drugs first, like smoking weed, fighting, you know, doing like throwing shit at cars, like fucking other neighborhood.
Right.
You know how shit supposed to. It was
Absolutely.
fun. You know what I mean, it was still stupid and dangerous, but it was fun. It was tolerable. You know what I mean? We was trying to sell drugs, support ourselves, get clothes. You know what we gotta do, crib
Right.
shit. You know what I mean? So it was different. Like. But yeah, you know, waking up in the hood, man, going outside, fucking with your boys, you know what I mean? You bored as shit. You might run down on something. My brother called me for yo. Might run down on something, you know what I mean? Fucking, you know, you just doing shit. Smoking in the hood, you on the block, y'all posted like that, selling drugs, running from cops. You know what I mean?
Can you tell us a little about some of your childhood friends? I see you got some of the family members up here, man. Can you tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about some of your childhood friends?
Yeah, I'm gonna introduce her to my folks. So this is my eldest sister, she passed when I was in jail. She there with her 2 kids and shit. She at Kennyfield, she was 29 and shit. You know what I mean? A lot of y'all know him. This is my cousin Bees, you know what I mean? He from uptown and shit. He passed. He was a victim of gun violence and shit. You know what I mean? He passed when I was in jail too. That's my little cousin Ron. He was a victim of gun violence too. He passed when I was away too, you know what I mean? So just show you, we got people that we love that go way too early, you know what I mean? Because of how we lived and shit, you know what I mean? So I don't take nothing for granted, you know what I mean? Because I was living like that. You know what I mean? So, you know. But yeah, I still got childhood friends I fuck with. You know, someone still in the streets, you know, keep it up, Orange Reach, what's up, you know what I mean? But I don't ever turn my back on the I just know where the dip off, you know what I mean? You know how it be, you know what I mean? I ain't
Right.
dipping and dabbling,
Right
so.
place, right time.
Yeah.
So speaking about some of the people that you have lost while doing this 11.5 years, man. First, I want to talk about your cousin that's up on the wall. Can you because you spoke on the gun violence that's currently, I'm pretty sure that's going on inside your city. So can you give me a little bit of some of the things? You don't got to go into too much detail of some of the things that led up to. So it could be as far as, you know, being in the street, selling drugs, the people that you're around, wrong place, wrong time, things like that.
Yeah. So, like, you know, in the streets, it can happen to me any type of way, you know what I mean? As far as, like, I didn't really know my cousin B's story, but for my cousin Ron, like, he wasn't never really in the hood and shit, you know what I mean? Like, and thank God he wasn't, you know what I mean? Because, you know how we grew up and shit, but he used to come over here summers and shit like that. And, you know, he just decided to stay. You know how that go. You,
Right.
you in the hood, now you hanging around, you know what I mean? Shit like that. So it was like, it be shit like, they don't be made for, certain shit be made for motherfuckers, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you know, you in the hood, you can't really tell nobody, you ain't nobody damn. And that's another thing, you know what I mean? So it just be like shit like that, man. You come over here, you might get killed.
Absolutely, man. So currently, is it a lot of gun violence that is going on inside the city that you currently live in?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot of gun violence, a lot of gang activity, which was never been a big part of our growing up, you know what I mean? We wasn't really ganged up. We just we hung around with since we was kids, so it's definitely different, man. Like, it's different, and it's like dudes like us, you know what I mean? I ain't put nobody on the spot, but like older dudes like us and shit, like we really need to be the ones that like step up and try, like, I know they wild, but it's like all right, it's a wave of young niggas you really can't get to right now, but it's also a wave of motherfuckers that you raise the motherfuckers, other people raising kids like 10, 11. You know what I mean? We need to get to them motherfuckers before them other motherfuckers get to them, you feel me? So the new generation of, you know, black men smart, you know what I mean? That's not trying to kill everybody when they come out the crib and shit.
Absolutely, man. I totally agree with that, man. I actually been through the other side of gun violence when it comes to, you know, losing someone while in prison and while on the streets. And that was one of my siblings, man, my older brother, Thomas Easter. But you know, you go through those things, and as a kid, you try to get the understanding of what really went on, but sometimes, you know, it's hard to really tap into that. With that being said, you being inside the streets, you know, obviously, you know, having a firearm that led you to do this 11 and a half years. Let's go to the part of you being arrested. So you commit your crime and you get arrested. Let's take the audience to a visualization of the county that you was in. So you get arrested, you get to the county, then what?
Alright, I get arrested, get booked. First of all, the ride, like, you get booked, you already know, you start thinking from the rip. Like, fuck, I should have did this, should have did that. Everybody know it. Everybody booked, everybody real. You start calculating what you should have did, that you kicked yourself, blase blah, the whole ride to the county, so you got that to deal with. You ain't gonna see that shit in a minute, So, and mind you, my nigga, I'm still young. I don't know about the law, my nigga. We already talked about this. Nobody sit you down and talk about the law with you or nothing, or don't go to jail. They don't really tell you about jail. They just they go pack, they go gat, go ahead do you. But anyway, first show out of the county, I was sitting. They had me sitting for a minute. I was sitting in that little tank for a minute at home. I think it was like. I might have been sitting all day, all night or something. I can't remember because it's like it was so long ago, man. Some shit is blocked out. But my grandma brought me a Bible when I was down there.
Okay.
She brought me a Bible. I still got a Bible to this day.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
They try to take my Bible too.
They try to take your Bible.
Try to take my Bible.
Wow. Unbelievable. They try to take your Bible?
They ain't talking about it was. If it ain't the Bible we give you, you can't have it type of
wow.
thing. Come on, man. It's a Bible, but they'll do that. It's Jesus Christ, but they'll do that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, real shit,
that's
boy.
crazy, man.
But yeah, they had me so like you said, the smell, my nigga, that shit different than. It's like I said, I'm a kid. It's a tank. Everybody gotta use that barrel. Motherfuckers whipping out, pissing shit right in front of you. You gotta be like, this shit ain't you ain't used to. This ain't Schaffner. This is different. Like you in the big boy league now, man. So yeah, it was definitely crazy.
So they take you inside the county. I'm pretty sure strip search.
Yeah.
So they strip search you. So they dehumanize you. Violate you. And then, how long did you sit in the county for, waiting to get sentenced to, go?
15 months. You're in some change. 15 months, my man.
So you sat in your county prison for 15 months, waiting to get sentenced. Was there any other plea agreements in the, in the making? Were they trying to offer any other type of deals?
It's like I said, my nigga, because I didn't do no fraud. Like, I was ignorant to the law, my nigga, so I had a PD. So it's people telling you shit.
What is a PD?
Oh, excuse me, public defender.
So you had a public defender?
Yeah, a public defender is somebody like the state appoints to you. That's basically they people. If you know what I'm saying.
Absolutely. So they appoint you a public defender. You go to court. Did they offer you any other time besides the?
Well, yeah. So originally it was supposed to be like a 7.5 to 14. Like you said, I'm ignorant to shit, so I don't really know what's going on. Everything coming so fast for real. So anybody put me on game for real. So it's supposed to be 7.5 to 14. My PD said. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like I just say, all right, cool. I don't know no better. So they was trying to be 30. They was trying to be 30. Wow. So we going to John. And my PD say the number or whatever, and I didn't even know this happened, but my victim was like, nah, I want him to do more time. So they went back, value all that. And the lowest they came back when my nigga was 11 and a half, they said, if you try to keep coming back fighting, they gonna try to move.
Was this your first adult offense?
Yep.
This was your first adult offense?
Yeah.
So they charged you for felon for the robbery and the firearm.
Yeah, robbery, firearm.
Wow.
I had an Aggie, serious bodily injury and shit. I pistol with mine, all that shit though too.
Okay. So they sentenced you 11 and a half to
27 and a half years.
11 and a half to 27 and a half years.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. What was the most challenging part of your time in prison?
Knowing that you got a date, but you might not make it home.
Knowing that you have a date and you might not make it home.
Yeah. I've seen people die in there with 1 or 2s, 5 to 10s.
What leads up to it? What leads up to the deaths?
It could be lack of medical treatment.
A lack of medical treatment?
Yes.
Wow.
So it could be that. You get stabbed in there. I didn't see people catch, jail bodies and stuff like that. So I had a cellie. I just had met him. I don't know if I really can't speak on because, I mean, I don't know what really happened, but he had gotten something, he had got stomped out or whatever the case may be. And he was saying he was dead or he was in a coma or something. I just met he was in my study for like 2 weeks. My neighbor, like real close to him. He ain't ready to handle people like that. And I was fucking with him. I watched my tube cook for him. I mean, he cool as shit. I mean, he was a little off and shit. So I was fucking with him. I mean,
wow.
Somebody was fucking with him one night, took soup out his back pocket. They fucked him up, strode him on there, and put him in a coma. I mean, so.
Wow, man. I can actually say, man, I did prison time. A lot of prisons, man. A lot of prisons, man. A lot of prisons, man. 3 state numbers. And the biggest change for me is the kids, man. The kids that I have, and that's the biggest change for me, man. Seeing a bigger outlook on life. Actually losing the people, while in prison, and while you on the streets, and you really can't do anything about it because you're like, if I do anything, the kids.
Right.
So you lose a celly.
Yeah.
How many prisons have you been to?
I only been one.
You only been to
other than Camp Hill, you go there through
transfer and things like that.
Yeah.
All right, so you've been to what was this prison that you were at?
SCI Dallas.
So you were at State Correctional Institution at Dallas. State Correctional Institution at Dallas. I think I believe as I did some research, it was a guy that came home from SCI Dallas by the name of Wallow to have a podcast.
Oh, yeah, I heard
going $1 million. Do you remember him up there?
They were talking about the Pink Palace. I think I might have seen him one time. They were talking about the Pink Palace and shit.
Yeah.
He ain't lied, but then it probably like it. It got stages in that joint. So they said it used to be way worse. Like back in the day, like they said when I came through that joint, they dumped it down a little bit. But I seen niggas out there laying in the yard together and all that shit.
Wow.
But they said you be way worse than that. They said, I ain't going to...
You don't even have to get into it. But
we got a younger audience watching too.
What skills or lessons did you learn while incarcerated? So let's say the first year that you're doing time, you're just getting used to the facility. I need to know who's here. I need to my P's and Q's, my surroundings. What skills could you say you have learned from prison?
I'm just trying to remember. It was a lot, so you know how time. So I was in everything.
Let's go for the first 1 to 3 years. What would you say you learned?
Probably was like doing school stuff. They teaching you like money management and all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? So we was doing that, and a little later on, I started getting into like the horticulture. We was doing greenhouse stuff. We was fucking with the plants. We was doing sales and stuff like that. Landscaping. Was doing that. We was doing the ocean shit. We was doing that. We was in there buffing the dance floor home. We was in there cleaning the dance floor.
What's the dance floor?
The dance floor is the visit room.
So they call it dance floor the desert room.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I know, man.
For the ones that don't know, the dance floor is the visitor room.
So it's everything extra, Absolutely. Got that, So you gotta make it do what it do.
How was the support that came from family members, friends, associates? Let's just go back for it. So you catch a robbery, you was on the street, you were hanging out with friends, you might have had a girlfriend at the time, family members that you were real closely knitted with. You get 11.5 to 27 years. And how did that affect you? Did some stay? Did some go?
Yeah, some stayed. So I had a girl before I went in that I'm actually with now, so that was a blessing. So I actually broke it off with her, because, I ain't wanted her to drag her around, plus, I really love her, so I let her go, you know what they say. So, but, certain family member wasn't there, I already told my mom would be talking about her. My mom wanted there to do a lot of my bed, my nigga, but I don't never put nothing on them because my dad wanted to do all my bed, but they each popped up when they wanted to. So, right, as long as you did something, because I don't ever look at it like, no, they ain't do nothing for me, they ain't shit. I always look at it like, man, I put myself in a position, especially when I grew my niggas, I put myself in a position, I gotta do nothing for me, They gave me life. Thank you. So, that's all I needed for real, but So once I grew up and shit, my nigga, I ain't never hold that against nobody. You know what I mean, like, cause I got friends that never looked out for me, that I grew up with, I still fuck with to this day, because y'all didn't owe me nothing. You know what I mean?
Right.
But everybody moved different though. You know what I mean? I couldn't say I would have did the same thing for y'all. If y'all wouldn't, I probably would have looked out. Or I probably wouldn't. You know what I mean? Who knows? But like I've said, I won't take nothing. In this world, my nigga, I don't take nothing too personal. You know what I mean? Because I ain't gonna be able to move on. I ain't gonna be able to sleep at night if I do.
That's good, man. That's real good. That's growth. I consider that real good growth. That's strong growth, man. I actually am real a believer of that too. If you let them go, they will come back, and it is a good thing to see that you are back with the one that you let go, man. That's crazy. Man, listen, man, that's big, man. Big shout out. I clap it up for that, man. So I support healthy relationships, man. I'm all with it, man. What would you say about the support? You're in prison. You're going through your first 1 to 3. You said you learned OSHA, buffing, janitorial.
Yep. All that going on.
So that's a good thing, man. So you brought those trades home with you.
Yeah, honestly, I ain't really applying none of them. You know what I mean? But I got like certificates and all that. You know
That's
I mean?
good.
I don't really do it. That's not really what I wanted to do, but I just did it to pass time and to learn something. You know what I mean, don't ever sleep on learning something every day. You know what I mean, you never know when you're gonna need it. So I just ain't want to waste piss my time away, even though that wasn't never my passion to do cleaning or be doing landscaping and things like that. You know what I mean, I just did it because I mean.
Can you share any positive experiences or friendships you made while in prison?
Oh yeah, I got a lot of positive friendships out there. I still talk to a lot of dudes that came home. I'm talking to most of them, some of them dudes every day. I be reaching out to them shit. You know what I mean?
Are they from the same place that you're from, or are they from different cities and states?
A lot of them dudes from like Philly. I got a couple dudes from Reading, Lancaster. You know, a couple dudes from Harrisburg. You know what I mean? But they from all over for real. You know what I mean?
What was your biggest surprise about, serving time in prison?
Surprise, like what?
As far as, the way that you get treated from the COs, the way that the inmates act, the way that they degrade you when you gotta go to the dance floor, aka the visiting room, things like that. What was your biggest surprise? The food, because that's a big surprise.
Yeah, food,
for a lot
man.
that don't know, that's a big surprise.
Yeah, so we can speak on every place. So the food, right? So out of 7 days a week, you might only fuck with like two and a half of the. We gonna say 2.5. I got 2 of the pop. We play Spain. 2.5. You might fuck with someone that have a track, but so they be forcing you to go to commissary. They make more money off you. You ain't gonna eat this shit. Go ahead and spend your money at commissary. That shit do.
And commissary, when you mention commissary, do commissary get generated by, you getting a job while in the facility, or do it, generate more so from family members supporting you?
So it could go a couple ways. So you could, get your job, pay for your own shit. Even some dudes be on this thing they call indigent.
Okay.
They really ain't got. They really ain't got no people sending them stuff though. They get like a bag through the jail or whatever the case may be.
Okay.
But like you said, your family member can send you something through like JPay and this other thing called Secure Packs. They can send it that way too. So it's a couple different ways to get food and stuff.
Okay.
They be having sales too. They be having like little big sales and stuff in the jail and shit like that.
Okay. Yeah, because the prison that I was at, they did a lot of like soda sales, sub sales,
ice cream,
donuts, ice cream, and things like that. What are the food conditions? Like, what are the food conditions? Let's just say, what is the worst meal when you didn't have someone, when someone couldn't send you any money?
Probably like the ham and the beans shit. That was like the worst shit. It was like ham and beans just.
So it's just beans and chopped up ham.
Yep.
Wow.
Like the worst shit, my man.
Wow.
That was shit crazy. That's the one I remember.
So if you didn't have anything, would you eat it?
If you ain't had nothing, what I do, I store it. When it was the stores, like they had dudes on the block that they have stores, like you go to there, you get a 1 for 2, you give it back commissary there whenever you get some money. I do that before I really. But if I had to, my nigga, I get down in there. Sometimes just stuff and touch it.
You're doing 11 and a half years. have you ever went to RHU?
Yeah.
What were some of the incidents that sent you to RHU?
So my first time in Camp Hill.
Okay.
I ain't even make it to my home gym yet, but then.
And you went straight to RHU?
Nah, I ain't go straight there.
Okay.
So this one of the lessons I learned in jail, cause you know they always teach you the lessons in jail. Sometimes you learn early, sometimes you learn late. But this one the draws I learned about myself.
Right.
Busting with somebody you don't know. That's a good one.
And that means like making fun of them.
Yeah, talking about each other, right?
Okay.
Rest in peace of my sister, my nigga. And this is a true story. I cannot lie, my nigga. Sitting at the table. Mind you, I don't know this white boy for kid to pay for it. We probably see each other like once or twice in the day room. So we start busting. He say something. I say something. He said, something to your sister. I said, oh, chill, my sister just died, my nigga, don't do that. He said, I don't give a fuck, I just shut up, my nigga. I just shut up. Cause listen, I'm like one of those boys in the jail. I'm already in jail. The worst thing you can do is go to the hoe. I don't want to go to the hoe. So I'm thinking, I'm trying to, I'm like, how I'm gonna break this nigga jaw with getting away with it, right? So, I changed since y'all gotta mind me. I mean,
Okay.
This was back then, my first year in jail. So, I ain't say nothing. He think everything peachy. Started talking to his white boy. You know what I mean? He finished his shit. I finished my shit. I followed it out. We on the same block. You know what I mean? He walking to his cell. This is why I start to think, my nigga, because people don't know you. So
Right.
they don't know you would do something to him. Cause if he knew I did something to him, he would not be just walking all nonchalant. I'm about to get you.
Right.
So finally, right to his cell, my nigga, stole off on him, smacked his head up against the wall, pushed him in the back of his cell without closing the door and went to my cell, my nigga.
Okay.
So don't ever talk about my sister again, my nigga.
Okay.
He ain't right or nothing.
And then what happened? So how did you end up in the RHU?
That was just a fight. I ain't go to the hole that.
Okay,
I ain't go to
so-
the hole that time.
so-
I went to the hole when I went to my home jail. That's
So
when I
you got
started
to your
going
home jail.
Yeah.
What was the incident that sent you to the RHU at your home jail?
So I think I called my first one was like a write up or something. I think I had like a write up for some altered clothes or something. You know they say you can't cut your shit, but I had got it from somebody though. It wasn't even you just coming through. They
You just
give you
coming,
some.
right.
I called one for that. Did like 24 days. You know what I mean? But only when I was upstate, I was only in the hole for like twice, my nigga. That, and it was never for fighting though. I always gotta wait with all my fights.
Okay. Sneaky.
I'm already in jail. First thing you do is go to the hole.
What was your daily routine like while you were in prison?
So it changes from year to year, day to day. So when I first got in there, I really wasn't in programs or doing shit like that. I was like doing what every other young nigga was, getting up, going to the yard, playing ball on 3 yards. You know what I mean? Really busting it up, smoking buckhorns.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Really wasn't doing too much when I first got there. But it changed as time went on. I mean, got a
Okay.
job and shit like that, so I had structure and shit like that. I mean,
Okay. Was there any what I say? I can consider them that. Was there any positive role models while you were doing time
No, I got a lot of games.
that you looked up to that would give you game? Like for example, my first time while incarcerated getting to the adult system, I was told don't wear your shower shoes nowhere.
Yeah.
Don't wear them.
Yeah,
Don't put your shower shoes on. You make sure you have your sneakers on
Just don't do it.
at all times. When you go in the shower, you take them with you. You sit them outside.
Especially if you in the shits, but if you ain't, you like a dead ass old hair nigga ain't in shits,
Right.
they nobody gonna say that. But if you in the shits, you young nigga coming through, but they keep your sneakers on all the time, my boy. Unless you don't get shits.
Right. Right. Did you participate in any programs or classes while you were in prison?
Yeah. So like I said, I was doing money management classes. I was in business classes.
Okay.
I was in all type of shit. So
As far as your crime, did they make you do any classes as programs as like
yeah, I did. When I
anger
first came through
management?
jail, went through Camp Hill, they make you do a victim awareness.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Did that.
Can you explain a little bit about the victim awareness?
Victim awareness is like they make you watch some videos and stuff
Okay.
like that about crime and shit like that. Victims and I come on, man. It was so long ago. I
Okay.
can't remember. It was on like a 2-3-8 class though.
Now that you're out of prison,
Yeah.
you're out of prison. You did your time. You came home. What have changed from then to now?
A lot. I don't take nothing for granted. For one, like you were saying about the game, man. Everything I learned from somebody in jail, I took it with me, my man. I I ain't forget nothing. And I really mean that, like the elephant shit. I can still hear every day somebody telling me, man, because don't rush, killer, just take your time, you know what I mean?
Right.
You ain't got to do what everybody else do, or you ain't got to look back and fuck with these niggas, man. It's coming from me, you know what I mean? Like, somebody like that, you know what I mean? That's the type of shit up. And like, you was like, it's like, it was always like, somebody know you thorough, my nigga, they always gonna try to sit you on the right direction, my nigga. Because they know the dickheads from the real ones, you know what I mean? So, you already know. So, I had a lot of dudes giving me game. I still be reaching out to dudes, talking to them and shit, you know what I mean?
What's something you wish people understood about your experience in prison?
Yeah. If I could say, this a lot.
And this is more so for the youth. What would you say to the youth that are currently involved in these gangs, involved in carrying guns, doing the same thing, you know, that led you to doing 11 and a half years?
So if I say to the youth, it'll be, you don't always have to feel like you gotta be a part of something. To be liked, to be down. You could stand out. That's the biggest thing. Don't be so scared to be who you are. You know what I mean? A lot of times you're scared to be who you are. That's why we roll in groups and packs and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Be yourself. You know what I mean? Be genuine, be real. People gravitate to it. People like the energy. Be like that. Don't want to be evil. You trying to take somebody's life. That's not what it is. Now, for the parents, I understand it's kind of hard. A lot of these kids ain't got their dads ain't here. Some of them in jail. Some of them probably dead. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So I understand. But I ain't gonna say people really care because that sounds kind of wrong coming from, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna say getting more involved in your kids' life. Be nosy. Get more nosy. Like, try to get the guns out your kids' hands. You know what I mean? Y'all know what they doing. Like, I'll be for real. Like, like let's do more. Whatever you doing, let's do more. Let's do more. People, everybody gotta do more. I mean, Harrisburg, we too small to not to be. Everybody know each other. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Like, everybody know each other. We too small to be out here trying to kill each other, down each other, shit like that. I was telling him, between both of us, we probably know 20 families in here, but they all probably related. Like, come on, man.
For the ones that provide, let's say, electronics, what would you say? How would you go about it as a parent to, you know, check your kid's phone?
Yeah. See, it's so different now. The tech era really took a lot of shit over. Like, it really caught everybody by storm, took everybody off guard. What I say though, it's like definitely that tablet shit and all that shit is brainwashing to the kids. Like, how we grew up, we was outside, we was running around. Also a little different, but if you could get your kid outside doing like adventurous shit, learning new things, that type of stuff, that's really gonna open up your kids' imagination, take him away from what we living in now is like what the rappers creating and shit like that. You know what I mean? They the ones made really walking up, killing people and shit like that, drill music and shit like that. So y'all gotta pay attention to that type of stuff. I found myself it's time to start a new wave. You know what I mean? Just like we had, like me and Cub had our ways, we was selling drugs, we was doing what we was talking about. These kids, they actually pick guns in their hand first. So that's what they doing. So I understand. But let's try to turn the fucking tide.
What do you think is the most important thing for someone re-entering society to focus on?
So it ain't just one, but I think the biggest thing is don't give up. When your second day, first week, first month, don't give up on yourself. Cause I know it's so easy. You be like, all right, you got a plan in your head that you gonna come home, you get a job, and that shit don't pay out. You be like, damn my record. That's the first thing motherfucker wanna say, damn my record, damn my record. All right, my nigga, just keep applying. Look for somebody. If you ain't got no, it's plenty of help out here now. Ain't no excuses. They giving people jobs, giving people cribs. They halfing on crib, car, food stamps. So it's not really no excuse. It's up to you to really want to change. So if you really got that change in you, man, ain't nothing that's gonna do this. Ain't nothing gonna stop you.
So in your area.
But hold on, dog. Do one for it. But hold on, yeah.
Go ahead.
But definitely change if you got to. The people you hang with, the places you used to be, shit you sold. If a smell motherfucker, if you go around, you smell something that bring you, get the fuck away from there. You know what I mean? That's, you gotta really change and get uncomfortable.
Right. So have you ever felt uncomfortable in a situation, you know, just coming home?
I feel uncomfortable right now. But I'm doing it. I ain't never do no shit like this. But, you know what I mean?
That's good. It's good. It's good because for me, two things about it. One is coming from someone that I actually know. And two, you're speaking real live things. And it's for the youth more so. And we don't have that, and we never had it as kids. And I think that's the biggest thing. And that's why I wanted to bring you on so you can tell the youth, even the adults too, like it's time to change things up for the better.
Yeah.
So, how did you stay connected with your family and friends while inside prison?
So, most of them I wasn't. So, my dad, I think I talked to my dad probably the most out of my parents. Then, I had a little chick and shit, so. But then that was over. So it was really kind of dark, my nigga. I could probably always call Grandma Dukes. That's always gonna be there. But I ain't call her. What I'm calling her, talking to her about for? She gonna pray for me and all that shit. But
right.
I ain't calling her every day. We trying to call somebody every day and shit. So
right.
It really wasn't like that, my nigga.
So how was grandma in your upbringing?
Yeah, grandma.
How was grandma in your upbringing?
Yeah, shout out to Grandma Duke. She like I said, she was real and she stayed solid all the way through. She was like the only one like that never gave up on me. You know what I mean, like that always been there. You know what I mean, so that got me through jail too, my nigga. Just like somebody not giving up on you.
Yeah.
That's big too, man. Cause if you feel as though somebody gave up on you, you can give up on yourself a lot of times. You know what I mean, so my grandma never gave. I know if I ever called her, she was there. And that's to have that bond, my nigga, that was always special. Like, I ain't had that with everybody, you know what I mean? Like I said, she paid for my tube. When I first got, that's the only thing. I was a girl, paid for my tube. Then she had to send more money because they taxed me. I didn't know about that. That was another lesson I had to learn. It's a lot of lessons you learn when you go to jail, man.
What's the biggest misconception about prison?
Niggas up there, everybody up there fucking, my nigga. You know that's all they say. I ain't never. You can check my record. Ain't nobody gonna say. But nah, that... Niggas is up there humping and niggas is burnt out. But listen, I can say this. For a lot of times you gotta go through some shit. Y'all, a lot of times we on the outside looking at, we judging, we don't know what's really going on, you know what I mean? So you really can't say somebody burnt out because what is really burnt out? You see what I'm saying? Now, that person might have went into jail and got changed.
Right. For
a reason, though. Y'all don't know that. Y'all don't sit down and ask. Y'all be like, this motherfucker burnt out. Look at him. He looking over there all crazy. He just gave up the shit. Oh, yeah, man, alone, man. Now y'all looking at that, if he burnt out, he go over and fuck y'all up.
Right.
Y'all staring at him. Now he burnt out. But it's be like shit like that, like, and they think everybody talking that jail talk. Cause I got that a lot, my nigga. Cause I've been changed for real in jail. I just had to wait to come home, so I've been talking about it. These motherfuckers be like,
So when you say you've been changed in jail, what year would you say you
that
changed?
That really took a turn.
That really took a turn. Like, you know what? I'm done with it. I'm not going back. I don't want to be a part of the streets anymore. Like, I can say
like 25, 26 around there. You know what I mean? Cause like I said, motherfuckers always see like potential. Like, man, well, you smart as shit. Like, you ain't really supposed to. Yeah, maybe shit like that. Like, I've been like, wasn't supposed to be in that shit. Like I said, we just was in that shit because that's what we was stoned to. But sure, don't mind that.
I was told that you're a big chess player.
Yeah,
I was told that you're a big chess player.
Yeah,
what would you say about chess? Can you give the youth a lesson about chess?
Chess, they say chess is a game of life. I agree with you to a certain extent, but chess is a thinking man's game. I agree with that 100% because you always gotta think of one move. Just like in life, that can alter everything. You know what I mean, and just you better just hope it's a game and not in real life. You make that false move. You know what I mean, But yeah, the chess man was a good pastime for me, man. I learned a lot just playing the game. I actually learned a lot about life just playing chess, you know what I mean? So
okay,
that's definitely a good tool, good pastime, you know what I mean? Had to get my ass whooped a lot of times before I really be good. That's why I really like it because it's something you really gotta get good at, you know what I mean, to master, you know what I mean? Everybody can't do that shit.
Right. Life lessons as far as chess. What is a good life lesson as far as chess? Pick any piece off the board. I'll pick a piece for you. Let's say bishop. Life lesson for a bishop. Give the angle for the bishop and the life lesson.
Alright, so the bishop, well, he always, he's talking about as far as the pieces character.
How do he move?
Oh, he move
All
diagonally. You got
right.
a white one, you got a green one. Well, it would say black and
Any
white.
color, you know, they
Yeah.
make them all different.
But yeah,
colored
but I'm
colors.
saying you know they go on they joint.
on their own colors, right?
So he is a sniper basically, always on the snipe tip. He like the boy in the club that see the boy way over there while the crowd moving. Like, got him.
All right.
He that boy. I mean,
Now, on a positive note, give him a sniper as a bishop.
on a positive note, he sees things before it happens. He know what it get. He know when it move, and he know what it get out before the get oh, y'all mean. So he see that shit before it happens.
How do you feel about the opportunities for the people with criminal records?
See, my shit is kind of old, so it's actually good for us. But people that got like newly fresh joints, I can see where it's like kind of like what do I want to say, like a kind of bias to it. But I want to say, like I said, it's all type of things they got for us now though. So I want to give up. I always like I got my shit through a temp. I got my job through a temp, and I've been working there ever since. Like so, it's like.
Do you believe in
trying.
Do you believe in equal opportunities for felons?
Nah, I don't. The only reason I don't because when I was in jail, they always used to tell you gonna carry that felon stipulation around with you no matter where you go. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like I said, it's different for me because my shit was so long ago. Like I actually had to tell somebody that I've been in trouble because they can't tell or like they can. I'm pretty sure they can look it up, but the post office gonna hire me, my man.
Okay.
And I was like, damn, I'm getting a post office, I get that. Like, man. So it was just like. But them fresh joints, I was like, it's different though. Especially, you know, Harrisburg changing. We talk about that federal building out there, like, so city definitely changing, man.
Did you set any goals while you were in prison before you came home?
Yeah, I definitely set some goals.
What were one of your biggest goals that you set while you were in prison?
Start a business.
Start a business.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, start a business. What about this business? Can you tell us a little bit about it? Don't have to go into too much detail.
Yeah, it got something to do with reselling though.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That's a good thing, man. Stay with it. Stay positive. That's the biggest thing, man. Stay with it. Stay positive. Straightforward, man. Straight and narrow, man, and stick with the chess thing, man, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. You're right.
Now that you're home, you're working, you're positive, you're motivated, you want to speak to the youth, you want to give back to the community. Who is some of your biggest support now?
Well, I got a lot of support. I ain't gonna lie. I got a lot of support. I'm very thankful for it. You know what I mean? But of course, my lady. You know what I mean? My parents, my dad, my mom and shit. My grandma. You know, my sister. My brothers definitely. I got cousins. You know, everybody around me support me because they know I changed and they know I changed for the better. So they really see that and they always give me my props. You know what I mean? So they always definitely for real. My whole family for real. Anybody surround me now, of course, I mean.
So you would say being supported is something real big.
Yeah.
So if you got support, you believe that you can achieve a lot of things.
Yeah. And it starts with believing in yourself. So when you start believing in yourself, others around you they just gonna do that shit. Cause your confidence and whatever is so crazy, like they ain't got no choice but to believe in you too. For me, cause you got people that believe, but they ain't got to drive themselves. They don't really see it. You know what I mean, so they ain't really gonna go hard for it. You got other people, like, you know how people go hard for you, then you go hard for yourself. That type of shit. You know what I mean?
Right. How is the support with your significant other now?
That's great, man. I mean, she always got my back on everything. I mean, she's very supportive. Like, I mean, it's like she's a hell of a partner. I mean, so I could definitely say that. She definitely matured from back in the day.
I mean, we all go through things, man, and it's crazy that you said that, man, because 11 and a half years, right? I'm going to touch up on this. I want to say something. 11 and a half years, you know, not having a full, you know, knowledge of a relationship and then coming home and then trying it out with someone and it ain't working, and then coming home and then trying it out with someone else and it ain't working, and then finally finding the right one and it finally worked. I think that's the biggest thing for us black men. When it comes to that side of things, the support while inside the relationship. What would you say about mental health inside your community?
But yeah, I just was talking to my parents about this a little bit earlier. But I say mental health is big, definitely in the black community, because we're not used to talking about a lot of things, especially not like something that really fucked us up and shit like that. And I think that's very important, because my mom told me she's still holding some shit from way back in the day. You know what I mean, she's 6 years old.
Okay.
So that's just go to show you that people don't be talking, or they not receptive to it, or they don't. I think it is like, you know, like you said, because you know, we don't even come from like proper language for real, shit like that. So
Right.
So you can't really try to teach somebody how to, you know, try to tap it with their feelings and all that type of shit. So I understand. That's why I say, like, I don't never take no personal, man, because they coming from more from the place we is coming from, like knowledge wise and shit like that. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I know they weren't talking back then. So I know they couldn't break that down. But that's why I was like, I take that step. I be asking my mom, my dad, shit about their parents and shit like that, and things that fucked them up and shit like that. I be telling them that shit, you know what I mean? But they already know, you know what I mean? So
That it rolled over.
yeah.
Okay. That's major.
So,
I will agree with that, man. That's a big thing, definitely in the African American community, that I could say that don't get touched up on as far as a big topic. You do have some, you know, people that do touch up on it, but it should be spoke on, you know, more so on the radio on an everyday basis, starting off in your morning. Like a cup of coffee.
right. Nah,
Just to wake you up. You know, some people wake up and turn the TV on and watch the news. Some people
Yeah.
turn their phone right on and get right on social
Yeah.
media. But I think the biggest thing when it do come to, you know, that side of things, man, definitely try it out. But
yeah, definitely talk, man. Talk. for
Ki-
real.
what do you think is the main cause of violence among the youth today?
Main cause.
What do you think the main cause of violence among the youth today?
See, I ain't really out there, so I only know from what I hear. So I think it's just like gangs and like dudes putting guns in their hands, man. From what I can see, it's gangs, dudes putting guns in their hands, like, 'cause we don't come from that shit. I mean,
But do with gangs. So, you know, doing the history on the gangs, just to speak on it. If you go all the way back to California, man, you know, you started off, you know, first of all, just to protect the community. Black Panthers was to protect the community. Crips and Bloods originally was to protect the community, and then it transferred over to whatever it transferred over to. Now that it's coming to an inner city that's so small, even though it might not be, you know, Crips and Blood, and it might just be a local gang.
right.
Is there anything that you can say to divert them to a different path, as far as like programs that's in the community?
Listen, I ain't touching on that, but yeah, though. But it's a lot of guys in the community that's doing stuff for the youth right now, though. You know what I mean, that they always could, you know, after school program. I feel that's a big thing I want to do. I want to do like an after school program, though. Cause it's like I feel as though they got too much time in the streets to do what they want to do.
Okay.
Run around after school. They go and get their pistol or whatever the case may be. They can go to like not like a boys and girls club, but something like a boys and girls club. You got people like us in there that we've been through stuff. We can on everyday lessons, but you got a basketball court upstairs, or you got games in this room and stuff. And they have to do that after y'all do your homework and shit like that. That's taking them off the streets. Now what y'all doing? Y'all getting home, ready to go home for dinner with y'all family.
Okay.
Get ready for school tomorrow.
Right.
You know I mean, so
I definitely agree with
shit
that,
like
man.
my man.
What I can say about place that I come from is we have a lot of boys and girls clubs, things like that, but it has changed from the way it was when I was a child. So when I was a child, Friday, Saturday night, it might have been a basketball game. Friday, food's up there. You might get to see the ladies,
Right.
little, your little
Yeah.
girlfriends that you see in the
Right.
community. But it was a fun thing. And then Saturday night, it was a party up there, and you might have laser tag. Everything was just it was better off for the youth.
Mm-hmm.
So bringing that to the community would be a very, very
Right.
great thing. Bringing that to your community would be a very, very great thing.
And nothing's done. Listen, I always, like I said, I learned a lot in German. I read a lot of books and shit. And they always tell me, nobody do nothing by themselves. Nobody got rich off their own money. So I'm never going to try to sit here and be like, I'm going to do all this shit by myself. Like I said, I'm reaching out to all the real stand-up dudes, you know what I mean? It ain't even got to be nobody our age. It can be anybody, you know what I mean? Somebody older, way older than us. But just reaching out to dudes that's positive, man. It's strength in numbers, man. I mean, get it done. This shit ain't nothing but so big. You
Right.
know what I mean?
What role do social media and technology play in the youth violence today?
Oh my goodness, it plays the most, my nigga. Like location, track, and all that shit. Like it's crazy, man. It's like it's too open. It's too open. I mean, it's like social media fucked up. It's too open. And it's all because of monetary reasons. As long as they making money, they don't care what it do to us. You know what I mean? So.
I definitely would agree. I think social media, and I think a lot of hardcore rap, drill music, things like that, it focused more
That
on
mixed together, yeah.
it focused more on the African American community, and it's promoted more.
Yeah, it's tailor-made to it.
It's promoted way more. I will say that.
Yeah, it's tailor-made to the drill shit.
I believe that when it comes to the youth inside the community and they're listening to this kind of music, do you think that it affects their mental?
Yeah. They're very impressionable. They're young. They're very, very impressionable. It's just like I'm some go back like we was saying. Like when we was growing up, we seen dudes in cars with the chicks, smoke weed. We went rims clothes. That's what we said. That's what we wanted. These young boys, they getting guns, and that's why that's more dangerous because you actually taking it like when we was selling drugs. They be like we was killing war on drugs and all that, but now you actually taking a life like that, like straight like that. So it's way different. You know what I mean?
I'll give you a scenario because I'd recently seen something trending on social media, Instagram. It was a situation where a guy was riding in his car, two young men were fighting. He got out of his car and he made them break it up, and then he made them focus in on everyone that were recording him, which were their friends. And he look at them, look at what they're doing.
Right.
Like they're laughing at y'all, like it's a joke. And now you're going to be on the social media, and you're going to next thing you know go to the guns. So if you were in a situation like that, how would you approach it?
If I was the dude,
If you were the dude in the vehicle, if you're riding down the street and you were to see a situation like that, how would you approach it?
completely honest, I probably, if I knew him, I definitely would have. If I didn't, I don't know. Because I don't know if they strapped then and there, you know what I mean? They might, no, they ain't gonna get out of there. They might just pull out no beat, just double tap my shit. But yeah, that's a good example though. Things like that need to be more things like that going on for real.
So how do you involve?
So, like I said, my first, like, being a kid shit, like, you make, they like, this new day age shit, they got all these rights, you can't, like, really put your hands on your kids and do this, do that.
Absolutely.
They ain't say nothing, you can't be nosy, being they shit, like, tell them you care about it, have them conversation, like, you got somebody that care about you, somebody that love you. If they ain't got no dad around, let them know you the fucking dad. Like, you just got like, they gotta grow up fast when they fucking got to. You know what I mean? But you gotta steer them in the right direction. Even I don't care what you gotta do. You gotta get them out the hood. Oh, I can't do that. Sit that motherfucker off somewhere far away from here. That, you know what I mean? You got family in another state. They don't fall out. Like, it's certain shit you could do to save your kid. I see it all the time. You know what I mean? People gotta do more now. A lot of these people that's raising kids nowadays are like young as fuck, so they really don't know how to raise.
So it's kids raising kids.
Kids raising kids. You know what I mean? So if I say I don't really put too much pressure on people. You know what I mean? Because they don't even know no better for real.
How do you stay motivated in the face of setbacks? Like,
I just like. Cause I had a lot since I've been home. Cause a lot of shit ain't paying out like I wanted to go. And the timetable I wanted to go in and shit. But I always just, like I said, always just remember what dudes telling me, like, take my time and shit like that. You trying to come back to this joint, you know what I mean? Just stay diligent, take your time, you know what I mean? Don't worry about block all the negative energy and talk out, you know what I mean? Just take your time and do you. I mean, let's take a step back, you know what I mean? Get my thoughts together. If I might go back in a jail habit, I might go back to read or start learning some shit every day to get my mind back in a, you know what I mean, a good place, you know what I mean?
what is a positive message that you want to give to the youth, to the parents, to the viewers that are currently watching?
Yeah, I would just say, love on your people, man. That's my biggest thing. Love on your people. Love. It eliminates a lot of shit. I mean, and like that's what everybody want. Growing up in the hood, they either want their mom, dad to love them, a chick to love them. They just want love. And if you don't really get that, you really turn out with shit. You know what I mean? So make sure you loving on your people. You talking to your people. You there for your people. You know what I mean? Make sure that you just love on them, man, for real.
Man, listen, man. For an ending question, man, and this is something that is coming from me personally. You grew up in the inner city. You come from a place of, I would say, crab in a bucket type of people. You have, positive people that are really trying their hardest, to better themselves, to better their ways, and make something out of themselves now that they are getting older.
Right.
Do you or have you ever, how about that? Have you ever cared about a misperception or a false narrative that someone would say to you?
Once upon a time, yeah. You know what I mean? Cause like where you come from, like you gotta stand on certain shit, you know what I mean? Certain morals, certain business, or not, then you ain't this or you ain't that, you know what I mean? But like I said, as you get older, and you realize somebody don't know you for real, or they just saying shit, or they just doing this to do that. They want you to crash out. You want to be reactive. That's why I say I don't want to be a reactor. I don't want to just be reacting and everything. That's why I told my little brother and shit. I mean, so.
I like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a reactor. I like that.
Not to everything. I mean, I ain't gonna react to that. So it's like shit like that. Man.
I like that. I gotta just speak on it, man. Cause it's there and it's in my face, man. Cause I knew your cousin,
Yeah.
and what I can say is strong-minded, very very strong-minded, strong-willed, powerful, powerful, very independent, very very independent. And said loss, lesson learned, made me look at life a lot differently.
Yeah.
A lot differently because I knew the mom, I knew the dad, I knew the family.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure he watching over both of us, and I definitely, man, know your sister's watching over you, man, because the lead on and the motivation that I see, man, I see it. So I appreciate you coming on to my platform, and anytime, man, you're welcome. Anytime, man.
I was supposed to be shouting my brother business out.
Oh, go ahead, absolutely, man. Give all your shot.
I gotta get the card. I gotta go off camera real quick. Hold on. Let me get this shit out.
He's giving his shout outs, man. So bear with us. He's giving his shout outs, man. But I appreciate everyone that has, participated, everyone that has viewed, and hopefully y'all really sit down and pay attention and listen to the knowledge that he was given. Absolutely. Let me see it. I'll give him a shout out right now.
You know Brown though.
Absolutely.
Real name Henry Thomas. He go by Brown Boy, Green Boy Enterprises.
Green Boy Enterprises. It's given. It's us. Henry Thomas, owner operator.
Yep. Service
the Central Pennsylvania area, Harrisburg, Campbell, Mechanicsburg, Carlisle, York, Lebanon. Green Boy Floor Care. greenboyenterprise.com. Telephone number 717-280-9756. 717-280-9756. Green Boy Enterprise is green, is given, is that famous TV. Thank y'all for joining. I appreciate y'all for watching. I appreciate you, TJ, for coming on, man.
Thank you. Always a pleasure, man.
And we are out.